Kepler 822 is an underwater oil research and drilling facility located at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. During the night shift, we see the mechanical engineer, Nora Price, in the facility's bathroom getting ready to begin her workday. The girl gets dressed and leaves the place, when suddenly an earthquake of great magnitude shakes the facilities, causing serious damage to the infrastructure and the total collapse of some areas. In the midst of the chaos, Nora runs through the corridor trying to alert her colleagues, and reaches the central area along with her colleague Rodrigo, where they are forced to completely close the door to protect the rest of the facilities, leaving several of their colleagues to die. Nora and Rodrigo get up, a little dazed, and try to communicate by radio with the other survivors, but to no avail. They realize that the total collapse of the facility is imminent, so they decide to head for the evacuation zone in order to escape to the surface. On the way, the two are moving through the rubble when they hear the scream of one of their companions, and they run to help him. There they meet Paul, who had been trapped, and after freeing him they all continue on their way to the nearest escape module. When they finally reach the evacuation zone, Captain Lucien opens the door, and Nora realizes that all the escape pods have already been deployed, so they must find another way to get out of there alive. Then, the group heads to the control center, where they meet Engineer Smith and his girlfriend, biologist Emily, who are trying unsuccessfully to communicate with the outside. The captain tells them that there is no time to wait for a rescue party, as the facility is badly damaged and could collapse soon, and the fusion cores where the power is generated could become unstable and cause a huge explosion. So, the captain proposes a risky plan that consists of putting on sophisticated special suits, which would allow them to withstand the enormous pressure caused by the water outside, and walk 1.5 kilometers along the ocean floor until they reach Roebuck, an abandoned submarine station, in the hope that there are more escape capsules with which they can evacuate. The group thinks it's crazy, but they can't think of any other alternative, so they suit up in the special suits and prepare to leave the facility. The captain opens the door to the outside, but a flaw in Rodrigo's helmet causes the pressure to crack the glass, causing it to implode. His companions are shocked, but they must continue, so they board a forklift that will allow them to reach the bottom of the ocean more quickly. As they descend, they remember their friend and his bad jokes, when suddenly the captain receives a distress signal from one of the capsules outside, so Smith and Paul decide to go out to investigate. They move through the debris to the location of the signal, where they encounter a strange substance and manage to see the silhouette of a dead person. The captain orders them to return, but the young men decide to approach the corpse, managing to see the body of a woman trapped between the wires with something strange on her back. Suddenly, a strange sea creature emerges from the body and attacks them, but Smith acts quickly and kills it, taking it with the others to investigate. In the forklift, Emily examines the strange creature, and quickly realizes that it belongs to a new species that had so far been undiscovered. Suddenly the power fails, and before long, strange sounds can be heard coming from outside. These noises are produced by another type of creature, larger and humanoid in shape, which are more aggressive and begin to hit the forklift. Out of nowhere, the group sees the Kepler facility explode above them, severing the cables holding the forklift and causing it to quickly fall to the bottom of the sea, so the guys put on their helmets and head out into the ocean. The crew runs, worried about the strange creatures, but at that moment a giant piece of debris falls on Smith. The others help him, and they all head for an intermediate station that was near the site. Upon entering, they observe Smith's condition, which was fine, but upon checking him they realize that his oxygen scrubber had been damaged by the debris. At that location, the group discovers an access tunnel that takes them on a strange platform to another intermediate station, which is closer to the Roebuck facility, where they could be evacuated. The boys travel through the tunnel, but it was filling with water, so they must continue on foot. As they proceed, the tunnel becomes narrower and at one point is completely submerged, so the group decides to go one at a time to the other side. Nora offers to go first, and as they pass she warns her companions that it is safe. The last to pass is Paul, but at that moment one of the creatures appears and rips off his arm, killing him quickly. The group continues walking to the other end of the tunnel, where they mourn Paul's death and try to figure out what is going on. Before heading back outside, the captain discovers that the range of Smith's oxygen scrubber is greatly reduced by the damage it sustained, but the group doesn't plan to leave him behind and they all head back out into the dark ocean. The captain guides the others, giving directions on how to move forward, until one of the mysterious creatures appears and takes Smith into a cave. The group follows it and fortunately they manage to save Smith, but the guy's weapon had been left inside the cave, so the captain goes to look for it. When he reaches it, the same beast appears and drags the captain, who was tied with a guide cable to Nora, so the beast captures them both. The two are quickly dragged upward by the creature, and their suits warn them that if they continue to climb, the pressure difference with the outside will cause the armor to explode. The captain knows that if they don't get loose they will both die, so he cuts the cable they were attached to in order to save the girl. Nora sees the captain explode, and the strong shockwave sends her back to the bottom of the sea. She is left alone and with her suit badly damaged, but soon arrives at a secondary underwater station where she tries to communicate unsuccessfully with her companions, who may still be alive. Very distressed, Nora takes a tour of the facility where she finds a healthy suit and a map to guide her to the Roebuck station. Before leaving, she finds a weapon, and finally continues her perilous journey to the bottom of the ocean. After an extensive walk, Nora sees a light in what appears to be one of her companions, so she screams and runs in the hope that she can regroup and escape the scene. As she gets closer, Nora sees that it is Emily, who is very tired from dragging Smith's unconscious body, and the two girls are glad they were able to find each other. With Nora's help and strength, they manage to drag Smith more easily, and decide to make one last effort to try to reach the Roebuck facility. After a while, they see the imposing abandoned facility in the distance, and as they approach the entrance they find what appears to be a nest of these strange creatures hanging from the ceiling. Luckily the beasts appear to be asleep, so the girls decide to cross slowly and silently to the other side, but as they do so, the oxygen alarm on Emily's suit begins to sound and a creature wakes up. Nora asks Emily to leave with Smith and enter the facility, at which point the beast begins to hit Nora hard and tries to eat her alive. The creature manages to devour her, suit and all, but the girl fires her gun from inside, whereupon it manages to kill her and escape. The other beasts wake up, but at that moment a loud noise is heard and all the creatures are roughly dragged upwards. Nora notices a strange, giant silhouette in the distance, so she shoots a flare to see what it is, and discovers that a huge, colossal monster has emerged from the depths, from which hundreds of smaller creatures are emerging. Nora runs in terror, and the huge creature tries to attack her, generating a huge explosion that damages her oxygen tank and leaves her almost unconscious. Emily comes out of the facility to help her, managing to drag her inside, and then grabs a fire extinguisher with which she hits her helmet in order to break it, getting Nora to breathe again. There we see that Smith is already feeling better, and the three of them run through the corridors towards the evacuation zone. Upon arrival, the group finds that there are only 3 escape pods available, but Nora discovers that one of them is out of service. The girls help Smith sit in one, sending him to the surface, and Emily realizes that only one capsule remains operational, so she refuses to leave, but Nora punches her in the face and sends her up as well. With no other options, Nora heads to the control room, where there is a huge window through which she can observe the beast. From there she can see that the monster is ejecting thousands of small creatures, which are swimming upwards very quickly trying to reach the escape pods. Nora realizes that she must do something to help her companions, so she puts the fusion cores to work at 100%, causing them to overload and generating a huge explosion that ends her life, but also ends the life of the beast. People, subscribe and turn on notifications to see more videos like this. Leave a like to help the channel out, and thank you for watching.